On today's session of Family Court with Judge Penny, these separated parents can't agree on their son's video game time.
He would play it 15 hours a day.
He's overly negative with the way he disciplines Willie.
But their own selfish interests
Mike expects me to mold my life around his musical career.
may be driving him further away.
Do you think that you're playing video games because of all that's going on in the house?
Sometimes, yes.
It is not your fault. Do you know he would give up playing video games to get you all back together? It breaks my heart because I don't really know if you all know what you're doing to him. There's love here. We just need to get you back together. Families in crisis, I know exactly what they're facing. I have been there. From a life of hardship, I was able to build a lifetime of experience. Now, after years of serving on the bench, I use the law to fight for families. It's not only about verdicts, it's about solutions. It's about the compassion and the mercy that justice requires. I'm Judge Penny Brown Reynolds, and in my court, family comes first.
The plaintiff, Mike, is suing his wife Samantha in order to obtain a parenting agreement because he says their 13-year-old son Willie is addicted to video games. The defendant, Samantha, separated from her husband because she says it's not about Willie playing the video games. She claims Mike is negative and only wants her to focus on his career.
Mike, you're here for a parenting agreement, correct?
Yes.
And you brought your wife and you all are separated, is that true?
Yes.
All right, why don't you share with me what you'd like the court to help you with?
Well, I'm suing my wife Samantha today for consistency in our discipline of our son, especially with his video games. We'd like to limit it to 1 hour a day, and I need her help in making that happen. I need the consistency, and I'd also like her help in helping me with my music career.
And so I take it that when you say about video games, he is liking videos too much.
It's an addiction. In my mind, it's an addiction with all of the pitfalls of any other kind of addiction. It's affecting his emotional state, it's affecting his health, and his social skills.
Really? How long would you
everything.
say he's on the computer playing videos, if what's an addiction to you?
Well, I think he would play it 15 hours a day easily if he was allowed to, and some days he manages to find a way to do just that.
What do you have to say about this, Samantha? I know you came to court, so apparently you agree that there may be some need for change?
Yeah, there is some need, although I think that Mike tends to blow things out of proportion. He's overly negative with the way he disciplines Willie, and he talks about self-esteem issues, but I think the way that he's so negative actually is a problem with that more than the video games or social issues.
Well, why don't we deal with a couple of things? Because I think that this came to a head with your son because, in fact, you all are separated, right? Mm-hmm. And remember, this is family court, so that's why you're here. And although it may be a parenting agreement that you need, why don't we talk about the issue about your marital state? Why are you all separated, Samantha?
Well, because Mike expects me to basically mold my life around his musical career, and he doesn't seem to recognize that I have my own goals and dreams in life, and that although I support his music, that's not going to be my thing. You know, I'm not going to put every ounce of my energy into his music. I have other things that I want to do with my life.
I feel that, you know, she had been locked down into these 40-hour-a-week jobs that she really hated, and I was trying to offer her the option to say, look, if you help me out with my music career, I can make a lot more money, and maybe you can work that into a full-time job, which would allow you more time to pursue your own interests.
When you say, Samantha, about your hopes and dreams, what are they? Have you shared that with Mike?
Yeah, I have. I really want to travel. I want to, right now I'm getting a certificate to teach English overseas. I want to go to do a lot of traveling, teach English, work with kids.
Have you done some traveling already to know that that's something you want to do?
Yeah, we recently went on a trip to Central America, and I found that that was really where the direction that I wanted my life to go.
So your calling was that?
Yeah.
So what brought you to a point where now you're living in two separate states? So your 13-year-old son is living with whom?
Me.
Okay, which is tough. Did you move out of the state or did you move out of the state?
Well, when we came back from Central America, Samantha refused to come back to Portland. She said, I am not going to go back and get locked into another job that I hate. And I knew I had work, and so she decided that she would stay in Arizona with her parents.
We're going to bring Willie out in a minute. This must be taking a toll on him because it's got to be hard. I mean, was he close with his father, Samantha?
Yeah, I would say so.
And you know, if you're all in different states and it's been 3 months, how often have you seen him in the 3 months?
I haven't.
Yeah, that's devastating to a kid, particularly a 13-year-old. So he may be throwing himself into these video games. There was a day, Mike, when the wife would throw away all of her dreams and put all of her focus into her husband. And for women who want to do that, that's a wonderful thing. But that she was also created to do something very special. And it's wonderful that you're now finally coming into your own to be able to find that. Do you think that's what's happening?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. So how then, though, do you find a way to merge it together where he can still be what he needs to be creatively, and you go with your future, and then you still be able to do what you need to do, but then we add this 13-year-old that's now throwing himself into the videos. So what do you think about what would it take to get the marriage back together?
When Family Court with Judge Penny returns.
You all have to get your act together. It is in the best interest of the child. And you have to really put your own needs, unfortunately, aside.
Family Court returns in the case of the separated parents. Mike believes Samantha allows their 13-year-old son too much time to play video games and wants Judge Penny to order a parenting agreement.
What would it take to get the marriage back together?
Well, I'm not sure what it's going to take for Samantha, but for me, I think just a little more support, maybe coming to more of my shows, maybe just spending a few hours a week helping me to book gigs.
You're going to have to move from that place. In other words, if you really want to get back to her, you just heard her say, she's not interested in doing that. So you're a little stuck in that area. Do you see?
Yeah, I do.
Because that's not what she wants to do. We cannot act like 3 months have gone by, you've been separated, you haven't seen your son, and wow, we're here trying to get a parenting agreement.
I feel that I end up coming across as negative. I end up becoming the bad guy because I'm the only one, in my opinion, I'm the only one who is consistent in that. When I say, you know, you have an hour of video games a day and that's it, when that hour's up, I will put my foot down. And
how do you put your foot down?
I'll go and turn it off.
Do you do this? Let's say you sit down with your wife and you say to her, Samantha, I think he's playing too much video games. An hour is not a lot in terms of what these kids are doing now.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of games. Is he playing violent games or?
No,
he's
not.
Playing normal games. You monitor that pretty well, right? Mm-hmm. So you have agreement on that. We don't have any issues about that. Rather than you just saying, this is how it is, I'm dad and I'm going to make an hour, do you talk with her to get some agreement so she can buy into and then support and be able to then come up with the discipline? Have you tried that?
Yeah, and I think that's where some of the tension, more tension comes into our relationship, is that, you know, I think she feels that I harp at her about the issue and about not being consistent, and you know, and I tell her time and time again that we need to be consistent, otherwise I just end up feeling like the bad guy. I feel like I'm the only one who's doing the discipline.
Samantha, what do you think is appropriate for watching videos? I mean, for him playing these video games?
Well, I think an hour or two a day. But I mean, he says he's consistent, but he's not necessarily any more consistent than I am on that. And I do discipline Willie.
So do you think that maybe you are guilty in some ways of allowing that to be a place where he can go so that maybe you could get away from the problems that you were having in your marriage?
Sometimes, and also just there has been some instability with traveling, and we took him out of school, and I think the video games do provide a certain sense of like stability or something that's constant in his life when we're traveling and moving and stuff like that. But
yeah, you all have to get your act together, because at 13 years old, and remember now, in any court of a family court nature, it is in the best interest of the child. And you have to really put your own needs, unfortunately, aside. I know you may not want to do that. Even your career has to take a back seat for this young man. Even how you feel about your goals and aspirations and coming into your own has to take a back seat. And we have to stop allowing video games and the computers to raise our kids. So why not, Damon, you want to go in and get him for me?
Ma'am.
Okay. How you doing, my man?
Fine.
I'm Judge Penny.
I'm Willie.
Willie, good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Do you know why we're here today?
Yeah,
Tell me.
it's because my parents have been having some problems.
Okay. And
And talking about, like, my addiction to video games.
who says you have an addiction?
My dad does.
You think you have one?
No,
Why not?
because I play it, and I probably play it a lot, but I can go without it.
Okay, how much is a lot?
A few hours every day.
All right, what's a few hours?
Like three or four.
Any more than that? What's the longest you've ever played it?
Probably 6 hours in a day.
All right, what about when you're supposed to be with friends and whatnot? You're 13, right?
Yeah.
You have friends?
Yeah, I spend as much time with them as I can.
All right, do you spend any time with your parents?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. Now, I know right now they're separated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your dad said he hasn't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Was it good seeing him today?
Yes, it was.
How does that make you feel that you're not able to see him?
Still to come on Family Court with Judge Penny.
I've been doing this for so long that I can look in the eyes of a young person and tell when their spirit is broken.
The court continues in the case of the feuding parents who can't agree on how much is too much when it comes to video games for their 13-year-old son, Willie.
I want you to try to open up to me, okay? Because I want to help you. Do you know that? That's really why they came.
Yeah.
And although they thought they were coming about you, I really am going to try to help them if I can, to try to put everything back together.
Okay.
All right? But has anybody asked you, how do you feel about all of this?
Not a lot. Sometimes.
Well, I'm asking.
Okay.
How does this make you feel, son?
It makes me feel stressed out. It's frustrating, and it really makes me realize how frustrating it is when I do see my dad.
What do you mean?
Because when I'm away from him for so long, when I see him, it makes me realize how much I do like him being around.
Well, what would make you feel better? What could Judge Penny do for you to make you feel better?
Well, it could help them get back together.
Okay. And what about you with these videos now? You willing to give up playing all these videos as much?
As much, yes.
Right. Do you have a girlfriend?
No,
Why not? You're cute.
mostly because I've been traveling too much.
Okay. You like traveling?
Yeah,
All right. You glad to be back? You're going to start school soon?
mostly being homeschooled.
You're being homeschooled.
Yeah, since fairly recently.
How does that work out?
It's okay. I do wish I could be in school, though.
I'm glad that you can, but what I want you to understand is none of this is your fault.
Yes.
But I give you my word. From the bottom of my heart, I'm going to do my best to
Okay.
try to help. And that's all anybody can do, okay?
Okay.
All right. Most impressed with you. And thank you for sharing with me, okay?
Okay.
All right. We're going to let you go back.
Okay.
All right.
Still to come on Family Court, Judge Penny prepares to render a verdict, but will it be enough to get these separated parents together again?
I miss my family.
I know you miss your family.
Family Court with Judge Penny is back in session. Mike and Samantha have separated because they cannot come to an agreement on the best way to raise their 13-year-old son, Willie.
It breaks my heart on many levels because I don't really know if you all know what you're doing to him. I've been doing this for so long that I can look in the eyes of a young person and tell when their spirit is broken. He is pouring himself into video games because home is so bad for him. And you think it's about the video games when it's bigger than even that. So the homeschool situation is one that you believe is best for him as opposed to going to school?
Yeah.
Did you agree with the homeschooling situation? You agree with that?
I think we both agreed that was going to be the best way to make sure that he was being educated, because we were taking him out of school during the school year. And
well, now I'm talking about the homeschooling situation, period, because he's not going to start school in any private or public sense. Is that something you agree to as well?
I think we need to listen to Willie. If he really wants to go back and attend public school, I think we need to respect his wishes on that.
Are you open to at least hearing what he has to say?
Yeah. I'm
Right.
open to.
See, what you have to understand is Willie can't be your guinea pig to fulfill your dream of being a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
You can come into your own, go get your certificate and go teach somebody else's kids. But if your child wants to go to school with other kids, you may want to consider it. What are you all going to do to try to see about, do you love your wife?
Very much.
Do you love your husband?
Yes.
Do you think you want to work it out with him?
Would like to, yeah.
So rather than just do a parenting agreement, well, how do we get two people who are in different states to even consider coming back together?
Well, I think there's got to be a lot of communication happening, and I think that we need to come up with a plan. We need to come up with a plan that's gonna put us both in a position where I feel like we're being consistent. She feels like maybe I'm not being so negative.
You say I don't support you when I do, and I don't discipline Willie when I do, and recognizing what I do and not focusing on what I don't do all the time.
Well, I'll try to be more aware and pay more attention to that.
Do you know that that's really all that needs to happen? Is that you all need to talk? So the first part of the agreement will be that you all will communicate about each other with each other. You okay? It's going to be fine. That's why you came. That's why you came. I don't need you crying on me. You're crying because it's a good thing, right?
Yes, I miss my family.
I know you miss your family. Do you miss your husband?
Yes, I do.
I know that. And so what we're going to do is you guys will talk at least every day or every other day without arguing about your issues. Let's come up with a good time for him to be doing videos, which is maybe 3 hours. What do you think?
2.
What do you think?
2 to 3, yeah.
Let's go with 2.5.
Okay, let's make a definite number here.
Okay, 2.5.
2.5 hours. So we're going to call it both a marriage and parenting agreement to hopefully get you back on track. All right?
Thank you.
Okay. Court stands adjourned. Thank you.
All rise.
The judge has ruled in favor of Mike and Samantha reconciling and Willie having more input into family decisions. When Family Court with Judge Penny continues, find out what happened after court.
Samantha, I'm in love with you. Samantha, I'm in love with you. I can't fight it, I ain't gonna hide it no more. Samantha, I'm in love with you. Samantha, I'm in love.
Thank you for joining in today. Please make sure to like and comment on this family court case. Do you think this agreement will work? Subscribe and comment below.